Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into how simple shifts in your English speaking habits can really change your life.
I'm excited. It's like really energizing to think that becoming fluent isn't about memorizing endless grammar rules, right?
Exactly. It's about embracing daily habits. You know, many learners feel stuck when they speak because of that fear of being wrong.
Absolutely. Right? Because it's not that they don't know the words. They just freeze when native speakers talk too fast or when they feel judged.
Yeah, and the idea is to turn that around. It's like babies, learning how to talk. They don't dissect grammar. They learn through imitation and practice.
Yep, I get that. So, one of the core points is to change your mindset. It's about telling yourself, English is simple. That affirmation can literally rewire how you approach learning.
Exactly. When you constantly say things like, "My English is bad," it reinforces that fear. Instead, affirming, "I am improving every day," helps your brain accept that learning is natural.
Yeah, let me ask. Do you think just positive affirmations are enough? Or does it really need that deep mindset shift?
Great question. And here's where I have a slight challenge. I think affirmations are crucial, but they work best when combined with daily practice. It's not just saying I can speak English, but actually living it.
That's key, right? Because then you're surrounding yourself with English, changing your phone settings, thinking in English, even talking to yourself in a mirror.
Exactly. Think of it like turning your entire world. It's like, you label everything around you. When you see a door, you think door in English, not in your native
I love that
language.
image. And it's not just labeling. It's about everyday immersion. Even if you're not in an English-speaking country, you can create a virtual space of English.
Right? Like changing your social media or app languages to English. These small changes add up over time. It's like training your brain to think in a new mode.
Absolutely. Now, one interesting suggestion is talking to yourself in English. At first, that can feel a bit awkward, don't you think?
Oh, totally. It's weird at first. But trust me, it's one of the most effective ways to build fluency because there's no pressure. Just you and your thoughts.
Yeah, like rehearsing a presentation without an audience. Exactly. And that reduces the fear of making mistakes. You get to experiment, and your brain adapts.
Right. And speaking of mistakes, there's a neat point made. If you aren't making mistakes, you're probably not learning enough.
True that. That's a change from the usual idea that you need to be perfect. Instead, it's about progress.
Yes, exactly. Forget about perfect grammar or flawless sentences. What matters is speaking, practicing, and gradually your grammar will improve naturally.
Yep, it's like muscle memory. But here's where I sometimes hesitate. Don't some learners argue that without proper grammar practice, you might form bad habits?
That's a valid concern, but think about it. Children never studied grammar books rigorously. They learned expressions and built grammar intuitively. It's the same for adults if you use repeated exposure and imitation.
Spot on. True. So the focus is less on being perfect and more on, embracing natural speaking patterns.
Exactly. The content really drives home that by imitating native speakers and practicing everyday dialogues, you gradually develop the fluency you desire.
Right, like mimicking until it sticks. And there's also that tip about listening and imitating. It seems almost obvious, but is so powerful.
Yeah, when you listen to native speakers, you pick up the intonation, rhythm, and flow. It's like slowly training your ear to adapt to the language pattern.
Exactly. It's fascinating how these small daily actions, thinking in English while brushing your teeth, for instance, can eventually lead to a natural mode of communication.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of it. The content suggests creating a routine where English becomes part of who you are, not just another subject you study.
Right, it's like living the language. And there's a neat tip about using simple everyday conversations, like practicing with your family or even the shopkeeper. These real interactions build your confidence and fluency.
Right. Role-playing daily scenarios, like greetings at home or talking to a vendor, really helps anchor that natural usage.
So practical. I love how accessible these strategies are. You don't need a formal classroom to get started, just a willingness to practice and a mindset shift.
Yep, it's all about making English an integral part of your life. Even if you're not in an English-speaking country, you create your little pocket of it in everyday life with your habits.
And I think one of the most intriguing pieces of advice is to use those positive affirmations repeatedly. English is easy, and I am improving every day. It's like giving yourself a boost every morning.
Totally. And repetition works wonders. Repeating these affirmations trains your brain to overcome that initial fear and builds a resilient mindset.
Absolutely. I also appreciate the advice to ignore the complexity of traditional grammar at first. Focusing on useful sentences allows you to communicate without getting bogged down by details.
Yeah, like instead of stressing over all the rules, you just say, I am eating, I am going, and let the language flow. Practicing these small sentences can transition into more complex speaking as you gain confidence.
Right, it's a natural progression. It reminds me a bit of learning to ride a bike. You learn by falling, getting back up, and eventually it becomes second nature.
Exactly. It's exactly like that. You embrace the falls as part of the learning journey, and over time, those stumbles become stepping stones.
Couldn't agree more. And then there's the suggestion to practice out loud, even if it means talking to yourself. I mean, can you imagine how bizarre it might feel initially?
Oh, for sure. It feels like talking to a mirror and, chuckling at your own reflection. But that's the point. Remove the fear of judgment. When you're the only one listening, there's no pressure.
Right. That's a game changer. So, summing up, the whole approach is to change your perspective, immerse yourself in English through small daily habits, and to not be afraid of mistakes or imperfection.
Precisely. By making English a natural part of your life instead of some daunting subject, you'll see remarkable changes in your fluency over time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a powerful yet simple reminder that success in language learning is more about consistency and practice than perfection.
Yep, keep it natural, keep it fun, and before you know it, you'll be conversing like a native.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for laying it all out so clearly. I can't wait to try incorporating these habits into my daily routine.
And that's the takeaway. Start small, change your mindset, and let every day be a step towards a more confident, fluent you.